Everybody, and welcome back to Felsbrunn. Been a few days since our last video, and we've earned some money, some contracts. In fact, we are just finishing up a big contract on a beet harvest. It's going to pay us out about $25,000. In fact, we've already completed the contract. Look here. We're going to get 22.9 out of this. And we've already gotten some money, 1346 out of the harvest. So the 30, basically 30, well, about 28,000 liters of this is what's left out of that field after we have completed our obligation. 9,000 liters is basically what we had left over from our sugar beet harvest of our oat field. So the other day I had we had a contract to do I think a potato harvest, and we had the 45,000 liter trailer to do that harvest on. After I completed the harvest, went over and I got a load of beets and sold a load of beets, and that left us with about 9,000 liters, and that's where we are. We're going to sell this 36,000. Really don't have a super good price. I guess I could technically sell that wherever. We don't have a super good price, so we're just going to go ahead and sell it. Like I said, the best price that I've seen is about $145. But you know what? I'm kind of done with these beets. I'm tired of looking at the prices, so we're just going to get rid of these and basically... Oh, taking out signs. Taking out signs. We're basically just going to call it where it is. Going to put us over $100,000. We're going to be able to buy that plot of land that we want to get. And if that plow contract is still available, we're going to take that. Because you know what? Why not get the guy to pay us, plow the field? Because we're just going to plow it as soon as we buy it. Why don't we just get paid to do it, right? Alright. So $4,300 and the 22.9, and there we go. We got $110,000. Look here. Buy this plot of land for $107,496. That's the cheapest plot that I know of. This map. The next thing we're going to buy is we're going to buy this biogas plant. Next. So let's see here. What is this? Field 28. We have a contract on Field 28. There it is. Plow the field. 230. Well, we're not going to get a lot. But darn it. I'm going to get paid to do the job that I was going to do anyway. Sounds like a... Ooh, come on. I thought this one was the... I didn't know this one had the rear wheel on it. So I guess this one doesn't reverse. Alright. And our oat field is ready to harvest also. Again. We're gonna have to we're gonna harvest our oats here. Probably I don't know if we're gonna do that tonight or tomorrow. Let's see, where we at? 28. Right here we go. Let's see. I'm not a super big fan of these plows, I'll tell you that. But it'll get the job done. Right? Definitely get the job done. And I'm going to hear all kinds of stuff from everybody on how I'm doing it wrong. And it's fine. We don't get points, extra points for doing it right. Get the job done, and that's what we get. So we're gonna harvest our oats either tomorrow. Oh, we might do it tonight. I don't know. Depends on how much time we have left in the game day after we get this plowing done. Yes, I know you don't back up with the plow in the ground. I understand. I don't know, I might have to fail this contract just because I don't like this plow. But I was thinking that, you know what? After we plowed this field, we could basically see if he had another contract for us. And if he did, he could just keep taking his contracts until, basically until we got to the point where it was ready to seed. And then, obviously, I want to put grass seed down here. I'm doing it wrong. Just want to plow the edge of the field here, and then I'll try to make diagonal or not cross path. Well, I guess it's technically you probably wouldn't be plowing up this field, up this hill, just because of the horsepower of the tractor. But anything to minimize turning. This plow doesn't turn. I'm gonna do it this way. I don't like this plow one bit. But guess we're gonna plow the other side. It'll be easier to do it that way, I think, as opposed to plowing on this side. So what we're gonna have to do is probably plow up that side and down this side in order to make this work. Right? I will do it. Of course, Once we get to 95%, we'll stop, and then the whole field will become plowed. Which will be a benefit. Guys, I'm going to do a little time lapse here, and kind of a bumpy field there. Do a little bit of time lapse on this, and y'all can watch my horrific plowing with these plows. Like I said, I don't do this stuff. I don't like these plows. We don't plow in the U.S. very much, so anything to avoid this. Just one reason why I really like 19 is if I, get rid of the need plow state that lots of these fields are going to have at the start of the map, and then don't plant, corn, sugar beets, potatoes, then sorry about the yawn. Then we won't ever have to plow again. Sounds great. And we're limited to just fields like corn and stuff, corn and the root crops that we would need to plow. So that's one thing I really do like about 19, concept of only needing to plow for certain crops. So let's get into that time lapse. Alright, so we should be just about done. Moment now, I'm looking for that contract complete. There we go. Excellent. Up out here and let's complete that contract. Now, what field was this? It's 28 again, right? 28. I'm going to do something else on 28. It would be great if we could sort these. 28. There isn't a contract on 28. We're just going to buy it. Alright, well. Didn't see a contract, so we're just going to go ahead and buy this plot of land. It is now ours. We're gonna put grass in here tomorrow. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and turn in for the evening. Rope. Go ahead and turn in. At some point, we're gonna need to upgrade our living conditions, I would say. It's almost 8 o'clock. Go ahead and sleep for 10 hours. And you'll see what the lease is costing us. We're $186 a day to basically have our leased items, which again is going to be our harvester, header, our mower, tedder, and our rake, storage wagon, and our water trailer. All right. So let's go ahead and, well, I guess we'll cultivate that field up. Yeah, let's go ahead and work this field up. Get her planted. Grass. What I want to do is we're going to hire a worker. So he's pretty good. And let's go ahead and come down here and check our horses out. It's interesting. I don't think our horses make a mess. No mess. Mess-free horses. That's what I like to see. $22,000. We're pretty good day here. Interesting enough, our oats and our hay is still full from the first time we filled them. So whatever oats we get off of this harvest, we're just going to go straight to market on. Let's go ahead and this harvester doesn't have anything to unfold. Let's go down here and let's put a couple passes on this end. They'll make turning around a lot easier. Should probably put on our beacon since we're on the road. Still put a straw swath down. No problem picking that up. Started early in the day that week. We can finish the rest of the day. We can tend to our horses. We can obviously plant our grass. And get this field turned back around. Got half of a mind to think that we might put something else in here other than oats, simply because, you know, our feed trough hasn't dropped at all. We're not going to need to there's a moon there, sun coming up, but we got cloudy skies, I guess. Since the feed trough hasn't dropped at all for 3 horses, then yeah, we're not going to need to cycle oats on this field. Be able to put something else in here. those off. Just looking over there and seeing how our tractor is doing on the cultivation. Not too bad of a job. Probably leave him over there cultivating until one of two things happen. One, we either fill our grain hopper here, and we could always just take it back to the farm there and in the trailer, I guess. Feel like we're really expanding. We've got 2 plots of land now. We're on the roads to riches. I think 2 passes will be good. So it's hard to believe that we are fast approaching our 1 month Farm Sim 19 being released. I think our 1 month anniversary is going to be tomorrow. Trying to remember some of this, and of course I am recording this a little bit ahead of time, so I'm kind of projecting forward. But I'm going to be releasing a kind of special video to celebrate the 1 month release. Basically a kind of a retrospective look back at the first month and where we have been and where we hope to be going with respect to Farm Sim 19 in the channel. I know that there's been some rough times early on in the month. Not so much with this channel, but with the game in general. We'll talk a little bit more about that during that video. Down at our compass, it's something I haven't been looking at during this particular harvest. Close to 180. I think 184 bucks to have all of these items leased. Not that bad of a deal compared to what it cost us to lease these things. Cost us a couple grand to lease this harvester, and it's going to take us what, at least probably 10 or 15 game days before we just right, I can catch it. Sweet. It's going to take us probably 14 or so game days before we've spent what we bought or what we had to expend to start the lease in daily charges. See, our hour counter down there is only 0.4. It's 0.3 when we started the harvest. We should be able to get 3 full harvests done with this thing before we incur another hour charge. And hopefully we'll be able to trade our 3 horses in for another batch, which will get us 150 grand almost. And at that point, I think we'll be in a position maybe to trade in our leased harvester for our own, buy it outright, and we won't have to worry about those daily charges. our water trailer, he's going to be cheap for a long time. We probably will always have that leased because of the amount of money that the water trailer is consuming is very, very minimal. Glad I was able to get that in there. Let's go ahead and run this over to our trailer. Might have some fertilized contracts that we can. They pay really good money. Not quite as good as that $25,000 sugar beet harvest. What? Are you honking your horn? Are you honking your horn because that guy's coming down the hill? Is that what's up? Anyway. This thing really dumps slow. I kind of like this little harvester. Never used this one in 17. I don't think I ever used it. Air cleaner there is a pretty cool design, something to look at. I think I'll put wheat in here next go around. Just look at what the yield is. I've heard that oats is not a really profitable crop. Be raising or to be planting oats for just for arable purposes. Really, its only economic sense is to feed horses. But if it's not that if it doesn't make that much economic sense to grow it, then we might as well just buy horse feed and put something else in this field that is actually going to give us a little bit more profit, maximize our profit margins, and then buy in the horse oats, because start from scratch is definitely a grind in order to get anywhere. Having to buy land prices, and on a map like this where the land prices are not, artificially lowered. I've seen some mod maps where the price of land is pretty darn cheap, and start from scratch would not be that big of a struggle. Plot we just bought for $107,000. I've seen, on some edits of this map, I've seen the land prices where that would go for like 20 grand. So imagine if we could buy land like that for $20,000. If all the land was, a fifth of the asking price, so we could pick up the BGA for like 30 grand, then we would own half the field or half the map by now. But there's nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of folks who, for their various reasons, their attention span is not not as long as maybe mine is with respect to wanting to play on any given map, and therefore being able to churn through a map is something that they're going to need, because they're not going to spend a whole lot of time on any one given map. So lower field prices are going to be a benefit for them. Just churning through this field. Alright guys, well, I think our time is just about up, or has been up for a little bit. See, we are just about done cultivating over there. Going to finish harvesting our oats here. Then obviously we are going to pick up the straw. We've got to plant our grass. We've got a whole bunch of work left to do. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please go ahead and click that like button. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the video. If you've got any ideas or suggestions for future episodes here at Felsbrunn, I'm interested to know what you got to say. And until next time, guys, happy farming.